I froze beside the sleek black car, staring at the couple inside, locked in a fiery embrace. My heart shattered. Just hours ago, we'd shared our mate ceremony. My mate, Alpha Aiden Crestfall, pressed against Sabrina Lowe, his beta's mate. Their filthy teasing made me almost gag.
Mate night, and you're here with me?
Sabrina gasped, letting Aiden trail kisses down her chest.
Can't your new mate satisfy you?
Aiden bit her lightly. She tilted her head back, with a shiver of pleasure.
Compared to that naive, uptight, lichen princess, I'd rather have wild, untamed you.
He ripped at her clothes, urgency in every movement. Pain tore through me. I clutched my mouth to stop myself from crying out.
God, Aiden.
Sabrina moaned, her red curls spilling across the leather seat.
You still want her as your mate?
His laugh was low and dangerous.
I need the lichen council's support to become Alpha King. Lyria's practically royalty. One word from her, or her brother and my bid's over.
The ache in my chest deepened. It wasn't just the mate bond. It was the crushing truth. Everything, our courtship, our promises, our mate ceremony vows, had been a lie. I'd given up everything, my birthright, my place in the royal court, my people's respect for him. What a fool I'd been. A mournful howl tore from my throat, my wolf, unable to endure the betrayal. The mate bond made her pain impossible to contain. Both in the car froze. Aiden's amber eyes snapped toward me, surprise flashing briefly, then cold calculation.
Lyria,
He said, calm, unashamed.
You're awake.
Sabrina smirked.
Well, look who decided to join the party.
How long?
The words cut out like shards. Aiden disentangled himself lazily.
Does it matter? Just a bit of fun? Lyria, nothing more.
Fun?
I spat.
This is our mate night. Our marking ceremony.
Which will finish tomorrow.
He interrupted, shrugging into his shirt.
After you've had time to process this.
Sabrina laughed, sharp and cruel.
Surely you didn't think he actually wanted you? He needed real passion after a dull evening stuck with you.
The memory hit me. The slightly off champagne, the dizziness, as he was supposed to mark me, collapsing unconscious while he came here, to her.
You drugged me.
So I could do what I needed.
Aiden said calmly, now fully dressed. Sabrina took her time deliberately, pulling on her clothes.
This benefits us both. You become Alpha Queen. I get the political support I need. What I do privately is irrelevant.
Irrelevant?
My voice cracked.
We're mates. The moon goddess.
She gave me ambition.
He cut me off, eyes hard.
Ambition requires sacrifice. You're smart, Lyria. Figure out how to make this work.
Sabrina sauntered closer, hips swaying.
Besides, darling, you don't really have a choice. You've committed to this pact, this bond. Run crying to your royal brother.
Her mockery broke me. My wolf surged forward, golden fire flaring in my eyes. They stepped back.
You think I am weak?
I said quietly, voice sharp and new.
A pampered princess who accepts humiliation.
Aren't you?
Sabrina challenged, faltering. I looked between them.
We'll see,
I whispered. Then I turned and walked away, leaving them in darkness beside their car. Behind me, Sabrina's nervous laugh and Aiden's muttered curse, but I didn't look back. Aiden was waiting in our suite when I returned, exactly as I'd expected. His dark hair was damp from a shower, a towel low around his waist.
There you are.
He said, patting the bed, amber eyes gleaming.
Come here, sweetheart.
I froze in the doorway, every instinct screaming at me to run. His expression flickered with irritation, quickly masked by calm. He rose, moving with fluid grace, wrapping his arms around me. I jerked away, but his hands settled on my waist, pulling me close.
Lyria.
He murmured, lips brushing my temple.
You're overreacting. Sabrina's just a distraction. She means nothing. She'll never threaten your place as Luna.
A distraction?
I echoed, dripping with sarcasm.
Marking another she-wolf on our mating night?
His grip tightened, dominance pressing against mine.
You're my mate, Lyria. My Luna, that's all that matters.
I tried to pull away, but his arms were iron bands. His mouth demanded mine. I turned away in disgust.
Don't,
I whispered, but he backed me toward the bed, hands roaming in familiarity that now felt like violation.
You're mine.
He growled, canines extending as his wolf surfaced.
Tonight, everyone will know it.
My eyes caught the wine glasses on the nightstand, the same we'd toasted with before everything went black.
What did you put in the wine?
I demanded, shoving him.
Clever girl.
He said, almost fond.
A special blend of herbs. Even the best wolves can't detect wolfsbane when it's masked. Months to perfect it.
You drugged me.
I whispered, tasting ash.
I sedated you.
He corrected, reaching for me again.
There's a difference.
When he kissed me, I bit his lower lip, tasting blood. He jerked back, eyes dark with arousal.
I like it when you fight.
He murmured, working at my dress.
Makes this more interesting.
His mouth found my throat, canines pressing my pulse, the marking spot.
You don't have the right to mark me.
I snarled, shoving him.
You Ray not worthy.
I'm your alpha.
He growled, voice commanding.
You will submit.
I didn't move. His expression darkened. He stormed to the door.
Marcus. Devon. Now.
2 warriors appeared instantly, eyes on the scene. Alpha half-naked and furious, Luna defiant.
Hold her down.
Aiden ordered, voice cold.
My mate needs a reminder of her place.
They hesitated, uncomfortable. But Alpha command was absolute. They stepped toward me, apologetic yet determined. The warriors' hands gripped my wrists like iron, bruising as they forced me onto the bed. My heart pounded. Every muscle screamed in protest.
Let me go.
I snarled, raw with fury and fear. Aiden stood at the foot of the bed, wearing nothing but a white towel. He stepped forward slowly, amber eyes glinting, sending a chill straight through me.
Lyria.
He said, sickeningly gentle.
You need to understand something.
I bucked against the warriors, my wolf clawing at my mind.
Don't you dare.
If you don't want me tonight, I won't force you.
His smile never touched his eyes.
I'm not a rapist.
Relief surged, then crashed away.
But I will mark you tonight. That's not up for debate.
My blood ran cold.
What?
He stepped closer, knee pressing onto the bed.
Once I mark you, you won't be able to resist. You'll support me. Convince your precious brother to back my claim.
His fingers brushed my ankle. I jerked away.
The mate bond ensures your cooperation.
Cold, calculated, this wasn't he the man I loved.
As for sex,
He said, standing.
plenty of she-wolves warm my bed. Sabrina, for instance, very enthusiastic.
Fury and heartbreak blurred my vision.
You Ray despicable.
I spat.
I'm practical.
He shrugged.
Now, this can be easy or hard. Your choice.
He leaned toward my neck, poised to mark me forever. Something inside me snapped. My knees shot up, striking his stomach. Aiden toppled off the bed, clutching himself.
You bitch.
He roared. The warriors staggered back, pale as my aura slammed into them. Even weakened, I was royal blood, a force they couldn't tie hold. They released me instantly. I rolled off the bed and sprinted for the door, bare feet silent. Behind me, Aiden cursed, but I didn't look back. The hallway blurred, heart hammering, lungs burning. I collided with someone. Red hair, green eyes, a smug, infuriating smile. Sabrina, and on her left hand, my Luna ring. Moonstone gleaming mockingly. She turned it in the light, purred.
Oh, this old thing? I didn't thought it would suit someone who actually appreciates it.
Pain stabbed my chest. That ring had meant everything. Now, a lie. A betrayal. I squared my shoulders.
Keep it.
I said.
It suits you, fake and worthless.
Her smile faltered. I ran, leaving her stunned. I burst into the cold night. Aiden's voice trailed behind.
Lyria, get back here.
The forest swallowed me silent except for my ragged breathing. Every step hurt. But pain was nothing compared to my mate's betrayal. I ran until my legs gave out, collapsing against an ancient oak. Silence broken only by distant creatures. The truth hit me.
My mate never loved me. I was just a tool, a stepping stone.
I'd given up everything. My status, my father's plans, my future for him. And he desciated on me the night of our mate ceremony. I reached out to my brother through the mind link.
Cedric.
Lyria, are you hurt?
I want Aiden to never be Alpha King.
I want him to lose everything. A pause, then grimly.
I promise you, and our future king has been waiting for you to come home, sister. He's been waiting a long time.
Hearing Cassian's name made my heart skip. My father had wanted me to marry him. I'd run instead, avoiding the Lycan court, and fallen into Aiden. My fatal mistake. The next morning I sat in my Luna's chair, watching pack members file in. Last night, sevens burned fresh. But I kept my face calm and spine straight. Aiden entered last, commanding attention in his dark suit. Hair perfect, stride confident. When his eyes met mine, I saw the same cold calculation he'd worn before.
Let's begin.
He said at the head of the table.
The crescent moon pack to our east shows weakness. Their alpha is old, numbers dwindling. It's time we took their territory.
A-N.
I said evenly.
We agreed maintaining alliances benefits us. The Crescent Moon Pack has been our ally.
Allies.
Aiden laughed sharply.
Lyria, soft thinking destroys packs. We don't need allies. We need subjects.
Murmurs rippled around the table.
Perhaps.
Sabrina's silky voice cut in.
Our Luna has spent too much time in palace walls. Some of us weren't born with silver spoons.
Her red curls caught the light, her green eyes glittered with malice. The insult hung like poison. Several chuckled. Aiden's lips curved approvingly.
Sabrina makes a point.
Aiden said, feigning concern.
Leading a pack requires strength, not naive hopes.
I almost laughed. Did he really think he'd be Alpha King?
If you want to be my Luna,
Aiden leaned behind me, looming.
you must learn this pack has no room for weaknesses. We take what we want. That's how we survive and thrive.
I snorted silently, waiting to see his ambition crumble. Elder Thorn cleared his throat.
One more matter.
He said.
The Lycan Prince visits in 2 days.
Prince Cassian Blackthorn,
Aiden asked, already knowing.
the war god.
The very same.
Elder Thorn confirmed.
The Lycan royalty noticed our recent activities.
Aiden's smile was triumphant, convinced it confirmed his rise to Alpha King. Fool.
This is incredible.
Sabrina exclaimed, grabbing Aiden's arm. Jared's eyes narrowed. She quickly released him.
Darling.
She said sweetly to Jared.
Such an honor for our pack.
But he stayed wary. I ignored them. My interest lay elsewhere. Hearing Cassian's name, warmth stirred in my chest. He'd bring my brother. I hadn't seen him in ages. Looking around at their excitement. Aiden's preening, Sabrina's glee. I bit back a laugh. They had no idea what awaited.
Actually,
Aiden said, eyes on me, calculating.
Sabrina will handle Prince Cassian's visit.
The words struck like thunder. Sabrina gasped. Pack members shifted uneasily. It was a clear insult taking Luna duties from me.
But Alpha,
Elder Thorn began.
welcoming royal guests is traditionally the Luna's.
I'm aware of tradition.
Aiden cut in.
I need someone I trust for this important visit.
I smirked internally. He still thought this would humble me. Sabrina practically vibrated with excitement, green eyes gleaming, her hand curling around Aiden's arm.
Of course, Alpha. I would be honored.
Aiden coughed awkwardly, releasing her hand and glancing at Jared. Jared's face went pale. His mate shamelessly pleased. The Alpha, trampling his pride. All eyes turned to me, waiting for my reaction. Waiting for me to fight, demand my role, make a scene. I didn't. I smiled.
What a wonderful idea.
I said, warm with apparent approval.
I am sure Sabrina will do an adequate job.
I glanced at her meaningfully. Her smug expression faltered. Her mate reassessed her with a sharp gaze.
Then it's settled. Sabrina handles all arrangements for Prince Cassian's visit.
Aiden still watched me, smirking with unspoken intentions. The smug look on Sabrina's face was almost tangible. She stood with arms crossed, watching me with calculating eyes.
You know, Lyria.
She purred, her voice dripping with fake sweetness.
I really think this arrangement works much better, don't you?
I didn't answer. I simply turned and walked toward the main entrance. The sooner I left this pathetic scene, the better.
Where do you think you're going?
Aiden's voice sliced through the air. I heard his heavy footsteps behind me, but I didn't slow.
That's none of your concerns.
I said without turning, my voice cold as frost. His steps quickened. Suddenly his hand clamped around my arm, fingers digging painfully into my skin. He spun me to face him, dark amber eyes blazing.
Like hell it isn't.
He snarled, tightening his grip.
You're still my mate. I demand to know where you're going. You owe me an explanation.
Behind him, Sabrina's eyes lit with malicious delight. She stepped closer, voice sickeningly sweet.
Oh my.
She gasped dramatically.
Lyria, you seem awfully eager to leave, and with such urgency.
Her gaze slid between us.
One might think you have somewhere important to be, someone important to see. Oh, right.
She suddenly said, as if remembering something.
Like that stranger you ran into last night outside the pack house.
I frowned. Last night I had indeed met a werewolf. Someone my brother arranged for me. Just in case. I only asked him to deliver a few things to my brother. I hadn't expected Sabrina to see it.
Is that it?
Aiden growled, his voice dropping low.
Do you have a lover waiting somewhere? No wonder you refuse to let me mark you.
His hand traced dangerously along my neck.
Let go of me.
I said softly, warning clear in my tone.
I don't owe you any explanations.
But Aiden had never been smart when his pride was hurt. Instead of releasing me, he dragged me to the nearest bathroom. The door slammed shut. Before I could react, he pinned me against the cold tile wall, his body trapping mine.
You want to play games?
He whispered by my ear, breath hot and unwelcome.
Fine. Let's finish what we started. I'll mark you right here, right now, and end this ridiculous charade.
His canines lengthened. Predatory energy rolled off him in waves. I felt only disgust.
Get away from me,
I hissed, twisting from his mouth.
If you're so desperate to mark someone, go find your precious mistress.
He pulled back, eyes flashing with rage.
What did you just say?
You heard me.
I snapped.
Go mark Sabrina. She's clearly dying for the honor.
As if summoned, a soft knock sounded. Sabrina's voice floated through the door, sweet and fragile.
Alpha, I'm not feeling well. I think I might need some attention.
Aiden's jaw tightened.
If you're not feeling well,
He called harshly.
go find a doctor. Or better yet, go find your actual mate. Beta Jerry might finally take care of his mate.
Silence followed. Then the rapid click of heels retreating down the hall. Aiden turned back to me, eyes wild with possessive fury, and lunged again. This time I was ready. My fist slammed into his jaw with a sharp crack. The blow sent him stumbling back. He crashed to the floor, hand flying to his mouth as blood trickled from his lips. For a moment we stared at each other. Then I straightened calmly, smoothing my clothes.
Did you really think,
I said evenly,
that after last time, when you drugged me, when your lackeys held me down, did you honestly believe I'd ever let you touch me again?
Aiden's eyes widened. Slowly he pulled his hand away and stared at the blood on his fingers. Then to my disgust he smiled.
This side of you.
He murmured softly.
This fire. This strength. I like it very much.
The sick satisfaction in his voice made my stomach turn. Without another word, I stepped over him and walked out, leaving him bleeding on the cold tile floor. The next 2 days blurred together as Sabrina grew increasingly desperate to assert dominance. She paraded around the pack house as if she owned it, making sure I witnessed every display of her imagined authority.
Oh, Lyria.
She called the first morning, her voice overly bright.
Look what Aiden got me for the celebration.
She held up an elaborate evening gown. Deep white silk covered in delicate beadwork. It probably cost more than most pack members earned in a month. The dress was beautiful, but seeing it draped over Sabrina's arm like a trophy made me feel only pity.
How lovely,
I said flatly, not looking up from my book. Her smile faltered, but she pushed on.
He said he wants me to look perfect when the Lycan Prince arrives. After all, I'll be representing the pack beside him.
I turned a page slowly.
I'm sure you'll make quite an impression.
She caught the double meaning immediately. Frustration radiated off her as she flounced away, the expensive dress trailing behind her like a battle flag. The second day was no different. Sabrina made a point of ordering the omegas around in front of me, her tone sharp and imperious.
No.
She snapped at a young omega arranging flowers.
Those colors are wrong. The prince expects perfection. This looks like a child did it.
The omega, barely 18, nodded nervously and hurried to fix the arrangement. Hands shaking, I watched, irritation rising. But I stayed silent. Let Sabrina play her games. Soon enough, reality would crash down on her, and I intended to watch. The day of the celebration arrived bright and clear. The pack house buzzed with nervous energy. Sabrina thrived in the chaos, rushing around with exaggerated authority.
The silverware needs polishing again.
She ordered a tired omega.
And make sure the wine is properly chilled. We cannot afford mistakes today.
I looked at Sabrina. She met my gaze, raising an eyebrow with a smug,
I run this pack
kind of look. I just smiled softly. Since I didn't have to play the Luna tonight, I'd be a guest and savor every moment of this feast. I walked down the stairs in my gown with practiced grace. Across the room, Aiden's eyes locked onto me, and I watched his pupils widen with unmistakable hunger. He cut off his conversation mid-sentence and moved through the crowd with predatory ease until he stopped in front of me, his gaze sweeping over my body with possessive approval.
You look
His voice caught, rough with desire.
absolutely stunning, Lyria. I knew you'd dress beautifully for me.
The assumption in his tone made my stomach twist. For him, as if every breath I took existed to please him. I turned to leave, but Aiden stopped me. His hand slid to the small of my back, fingers brushing the bare skin above the low cut of my dress. The touch filled me with revulsion, not the desire he clearly expected.
Finally.
He murmured, guiding me toward a shadowed alcove behind one of the massive stone pillars.
We can have a moment alone.
I tried to step away, but his grip tightened, pulling me deeper into the shadows where the chandelier light couldn't reach. His cologne, heavy and cloying, made my stomach turn.
Aiden, don't.
His hands moved over my back, fingers already searching for the zipper of my dress.
You wore this for me, didn't you?
He said softly.
To drive me wild before tonight's ceremony.
I twisted away, my skin crawling.
Stop it.
Irritation flashed in his eyes.
Tonight, Lyria.
He said coolly.
Tonight I'm going to mark you properly. No more games. No more delays.
The casual certainty in his voice, as if my consent meant nothing, made bile rise in my throat.
Don't,
I said sharply.
Don't say such revolting things to me.
His face darkened with rage. Before I could react, he shoved me against the cold stone wall. His mouth crashed onto mine with bruising force. I tasted copper, his blood or mine. I couldn't tell, and his invading tongue made my wolf snarl in fury. I shoved him hard enough to make him stumble. Then I wiped my mouth with the back of my hand as if I could erase the violation of his kiss. But the look on his face wasn't anger, it was satisfaction. His tongue slid over his lower lip, eyes gleaming with sick pleasure.
Delicious.
He murmured, a twisted smile spreading across his face.
I can't wait to taste more of you tonight.
Revulsion washed through me. Without another word, I pushed past him and walked back toward the main hall, my heels striking sharply against the marble floor. The grand ballroom buzzed with conversation. Pack members and visiting dignitaries mingled beneath glittering chandeliers, champagne glasses catching the light. Aiden had returned to hosting, Jared standing beside him as they greeted guests with practiced charm. But it was Sabrina who drew the most attention, and the quiet whispers. She stood beside Aiden as if she already belonged there, her red hair burned under the lights, her emerald dress clinging to her curves. She carried herself with the easy confidence of someone who believed she was already Luna.
Doesn't she look lovely?
One visiting she-wolf murmured.
So natural beside the effort. She has that Luna presence, don't you think?
Absolutely, her companion replied.
Much more suitable than the current Luna.
Their eyes drifted toward me across the room. I felt their judgment like physical blows. Some faces held pity, poor, discarded Lyria, clinging to a title, slipping through her fingers. Others showed thinly veiled disdain, as if my very presence embarrassed the pack.
I heard she's been causing problems.
Another voice whispered.
Being difficult with the alpha. No wonder he's looking elsewhere.
Such a shame.
Someone added with false sympathy.
She seemed so promising when she arrived. But I suppose not everyone is meant to be Luna.
Each word was a carefully aimed arrow. My expression stayed calm, my posture regal. But inside, pain tightened around my heart. These people had once respected me. They had sought my guidance and protection. Now they spoke of me as if I were already gone. I rose from my seat, planning to escape to the gardens to breathe somewhere beyond the weight of their whispers. Then something stopped me cold. A scent, rich in wild pine and winter mint, made my wolf snap to attention. Powerful, stronger than any scent I'd known, yet achingly familiar. My chest tightened with a strange longing. I turned toward the entrance, heart racing as the intoxicating scent grew stronger. Through the crowd, a group entered the hall, instantly commanding attention. At their center stood a man who seemed to bend the air around him. Tall, broad-shouldered, moving with a predator's grace, dark hair catching the chandelier light. Even from across the room, the weight of his authority was unmistakable. Lesser wolves instinctively stepped aside. My wolf vibrated with recognition, like coming home after years lost in the wild. Then the herald's voice rang across the silent hall.
His Royal Highness, Prince Cassian, Blackthorn of the Lycan Court.
The words struck like lightning. I couldn't breathe. My hands trembled on the back of my chair, as storm-gray eyes found mine across the room. Cassian. He was here. She-wolves began whispering excitedly, voices rising as they noticed the prince. I caught fragments: his looks, his power, his still unclaimed status. The air thrummed with female interest and barely hidden desire. Aiden rushed forward, nearly stumbling in his eagerness. His beta Jared followed, and even Sabrina abandoned her post, eyes gleaming as she positioned herself directly in Cassian's path.
Your Highness.
Aiden began, voice high with nervous excitement.
What an incredible honor.
Cassian's gaze swept past him, as if he were invisible. That was when Sabrina made her move. With theatrical precision, she stumbled into his path, arms flailing.
Oh, she gasped loudly. I'm so clumsy. Your Highness, I'm terribly sorry.
She pretended to cover herself, yet missed every crucial place. Her pale breasts nearly slipped free, as she swayed toward Cassian's arms. The performance was so obvious, I felt secondhand embarrassment burn my cheeks. Cassian stepped aside smoothly. Sabrina hit the marble floor with a painful crack. Aiden flushed dark red.
Sabrina.
He snarled.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Jared looked ready to disappear.
Your Highness, please accept our deepest apologies.
He stammered, helping cover her with his jacket.
She didn't mean.
Didn't she?
The voice that cut through the chaos was smooth and dangerous. Cassian's beta stepped forward, authority sharp as a drawn blade.
It seems she meant every calculated second.
My breath caught.
Cedric!
I whispered, tears filling my eyes. My brother's gaze found mine across the room, his stern face softening instantly. Warmth filled his deep blue eyes. He was just as I remembered, golden-haired, noble, radiating quiet strength. But before I could reach him, my brother commanded.
Guards.
Several warriors stepped forward.
Take this cheval from the prince's presence. 20 lashes for disturbing His Highness's peace, of course. Make sure Lyria and I have time to witness it.
Then he walked straight toward me.
No.
Jared protested, finally covering Sabrina.
Please, she's my mate.
Then perhaps you should have taught her respect.
Cassian replied coldly.
Or is discipline beyond your capabilities?
He gave me a small nod, a burning light in his eyes.
At once.
Guards seized Sabrina despite her screams and dragged her away.
No, you can't do this to me.
Sabrina screamed as they dragged her away.
I'm the beta's mate. I'm the one Alpha values most.
But the guards showed no hesitation.
You whore, Lyria. This is all your fault.
Sabrina shouted, defiant, even as the sound of a whip cracked outside, followed by her screams. I didn't feel joy at her pain or punishment. Boot, didn't she deserve it? I noticed Jared urging Aiden to plead, but Aiden was staring at me, because my brother had reached me.
Lyria.
My brother pulled me into a tight embrace, but Cassian's hungry gaze made it impossible to fully enjoy it.
I told Cassian the moment I received your message.
Cedric said.
When he heard what happened, he ordered me here immediately.
He released me and checked me over carefully.
That bastard even used his lichen royal tone on me.
Only then did he notice the shift in the room. The scent of pine and mint grew stronger. Cassian was moving toward me, my wolf practically heard. As he approached, heat rose in my cheeks. Even now, after everything, my body reacted as if he were the other half of my soul.
Lyria.
He said softly. My name sounded like a prayer. The room erupted in whispers. From the corner of my eye, I saw Aiden's shock and jealousy. I didn't care. Before I could speak, Cassian pulled me into his arms. I melted against his chest, warm, solid, real. For the first time in months, I felt safe. His scent wrapped around me, washing away the ugliness of the night.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Aiden's roar shattered the moment. Alpha power exploded through the room. Wolves flinched. Cassian didn't. If anything, his arms tightened around me.
She's my mate.
Aiden roared.
My Luna, you have no right.
Cassian turned slowly, one arm still around my shoulders.
Is she?
The quiet question hung like a blade.
I see no claiming mark on her throat.
Cassian continued, eyes fixed on Aiden.
And I don't smell your scent on her skin.
Then he leaned down and inhaled. At the curve of my neck, warm breath brushed my skin.
In fact,
he murmured,
all I smell is moon laurel and cedar, nothing of you.
My breath caught the intimate gesture sent shivers down my spine. His arm was the only reason I remained standing. The way he scented me, casual, possessive, felt more like claiming than anything Aiden had ever done.
I just haven't had the chance yet.
Aiden sputtered.
Tonight was supposed to be.
Ah, yes.
Cassian's voice dripped with disdain.
Too busy rolling around with our low-born she-wolf to claim your supposed mate. How? Alpha of you.
Gasps rippled across the hall. To call Sabrina low, born before the entire pack, was devastating. But the casual way Cassian said it, like stating a simple fact, made it even crueler.
Lyria,
Cedric urged quickly.
Maybe you should, please. The prince properly. He might be able to help me get what you want.
I froze, staring at Cassian. The deep affection and possessiveness in his eyes made my wolf shiver with anticipation.
Lyria, you can't.
Aiden bellowed, lunging forward.
Get away.
The sound that burst from Cassian was, and just a roar. It was primal fury. The entire hall shook. Every wolf alpha beta, warriors, she-wolves, servants collapsed to their knees. Heads bowed. Necks exposed. In absolute submission. Even Aiden was forced down. Everyone except me. I stood untouched beneath the invisible protection of the Prince Shrigard. Cassian's power filled the room like a living force. This was true dominance.
Not Aiden's petty temper.
But authority strong. Enough to bring a room to its knees with a single roar. I looked around. Aiden's face burned with humiliation. The pack members who once whispered about me now shook with fear. For the first time in months, I felt powerful, and it was intoxicating.
I'm very sorry, Your Highness.
Aiden's frantic apologies filled the air, but they sounded hollow against Sabrina's agonized screams echoing from the distant hallway. Each cry sent shivers through the pack members still kneeling around us, their faces pale at the brutal efficiency of like injustice. Cassian's warm hand slipped into mine, his fingers intertwining naturally, making my heart skip. He guided me toward the elevated platform where ornate chairs awaited. The seats meant for Aiden and me tonight. But with Cassian beside me, it was obvious who truly held power.
Please, Your Highness.
Jared's voice cracked as he rushed forward, desperation written across his face.
I beg you to show mercy to my mate. She made a terrible mistake, but...
His words died as Cassian calmly settled into his chair, unmoved. Jared's eyes darted to Aiden, silently begging his alpha to intervene. But Aiden wasn't looking at his beta. His burning gaze was fixed on me.
Lyria, no matter what grievances you have with me, you don't get to interfere with the prince, do you? Now, come here.
The command, the same controlling tone he'd used for months, made my wolf bristle. I stayed seated, spine straight, meeting his glare with new steel.
I said, come here. No.
Aiden's voice dropped into a dangerous growl, alpha authority pressing over the room. I didn't move. Neither did Cassian, though I felt the subtle shift in his posture, a predator sensing a challenge.
Do you know who you're speaking to?
Cedric's voice sliced through the tension. My brother stepped forward, his usually gentle demeanor replaced with something lethal.
That's the Lycan princess you're addressing. Alpha Aiden.
The reminder hit Aiden like a blow. His face paled. He had just commanded Lycan royalty in front of witnesses. He lowered his head quickly, but when he looked up again, rage still burned in his eyes.
You're making a fool.
His voice slammed into my mind through our mate bond, sharp with fury.
Get away from him now, or you'll regret it. Cross me tonight, Lyria, and I'll make sure you suffer for it.
Once that threat would have terrified me, but sitting beside Cassian, feeling the steady strength of his presence, Aiden's words sounded like the snarling of a cornered animal. I ignored him. Instead, I rose from my chair, every movement calm and deliberate. The pack members who had been cowering slowly straightened as I spoke.
Please, everyone, rise.
I said clearly.
We have an honored guest tonight. This is meant to be a celebration.
The reaction was immediate. Those who had once whispered about the weak Luna now stared in shock as I commanded the room with effortless authority. They hurried to their feet, finally seeing me not as Aiden's submissive mate, but as what I truly was. Royalty. I turned toward Jared, who still stood frozen.
Beta Jared, would you please serve our guests? I am sure Prince Cassian would appreciate some refreshments.
The slight was unmistakable. By asking the beta to serve instead of the alpha, I had publicly demoted Aiden in his own territory. Gasps rippled through the hall. Aiden's face turned purple with rage.
How dare you humiliate me like this?
His voice roared in my mind.
I am the alpha here. You will not make me look weak in front of my pack.
You've done that yourself,
I replied coolly.
A true alpha wouldn't need to, threatening his mate to earn respect.
Who are you speaking with?
Cassian's voice was soft, but the danger beneath it was unmistakable. His storm gray eyes shifted to Aiden. My former mate actually flinched.
Alpha Den was expressing his concerns through our bonds,
I said carefully, resting a gentle hand on Cassian's arm.
Please don't hold it against him. Your Highness, he's simply never hosted someone of your stature before. His nervousness is understandable.
The excuse sounded polite, but it carried a sting, painting Aiden as an inexperienced, provincial alpha completely out of his depth. Cassian stared at me, something deep and intense flickering in his eyes. My heartbeat quickened.
You are right.
Then he leaned closer. His magnetic voice dropped to a whisper.
Luckily, it's not too late.
His warm breath brushed my cheek, sending shivers down my spine. I retreated to my chambers, desperate for a moment alone to process everything. My mind still reeled from the dance. How Cassian had looked at me, how he had touched me, and the meaning behind his words when we met again after all these years.
It's not too late.
What had he meant? Too late for what? I was brushing my hair when my door suddenly burst open. I spun around, heart jumping to my throat. Aiden stood in the doorway, face flushed with rage, eyes wild.
What the hell was that?
He snarled, slamming the door behind him. Before I could react, he crossed the room. His hands clamped around my throat.
What were you doing out there?
His voice was low and dangerous, his face inches from mine.
Sitting with him like some common whore, letting him touch you.
I didn't sleep with anyone else.
My voice rough under the pressure.
What exactly are you so worked up about?
His grip tightened slightly.
I am your mate.
He growled.
You belong to me. You don't get to parade around with other men, especially not him.
A bitter laugh forced its way out.
My mate,
I wheezed.
If you truly thought of me that way, you wouldn't have been buried between another woman's thighs the night you were supposed to mark me.
That was a mistake,
he said, his voice dropping, almost pleading.
Sabrina. She's nothing. Just a lapse in judgment. She's a lowly she-wolf. How could I truly care for someone like that?
I stared at him in disbelief. Even now, after everything, he was minimizing it. As if the problem were her status, not the betrayal itself. Fury surged through me. I shoved him away. He stumbled back, surprise flashing across his face.
I care,
I said, my voice steady despite my shaking hands.
I care that you betrayed me. I care that you poisoned me. I care that you chose her when I needed you most.
For a moment we simply stared at each other across the room. Then, to my shock, Aiden dropped to his knees.
Lyria, please,
he said, voice breaking.
I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but please, give me another chance. Let me make this right.
Seeing him kneel should have felt like victory. Instead, it only made me tired. Tired of his games, his manipulation, his empty promises.
You will never be an alpha king,
I said quietly. The words fell between us like stones.
You don't have what it takes. You never did.
He flinched as if struck, but stayed on his knees.
Stay away from Prince Cassian,
he said, desperation creeping in.
Please, Lyria, let's start over. That Lycan prince, he's dangerous. He has no heart, no capacity for love. He'll use you and discard you. You'll never be happy with someone like him.
Your meaning being that only you are worthy of her.
We both turned. Cassian leaned against the doorway with deceptive ease. His storm gray eyes were fixed on Aiden, promising violence. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Aiden scrambled to his feet, face pale. Still he held his ground.
With all due respect, Your Highness,
he said, voice only slightly unsteady.
No matter how noble your bloodline is, you have no right to steal another man's mate.
Cassian pushed off the doorframe and stepped inside. His presence instantly filled the room. The air thickened with barely restrained power. His eyes never left mine.
The question isn't whether I have the right,
he said softly.
The question is whether she'll let me.
My breath caught. His gaze was heavy, intense, almost suffocating. I felt pinned in place, like a butterfly beneath glass. Studied, judged, found wanting, or worthy. I couldn't tell. I cleared my throat, trying to break the strange spell in the room.
Actually,
I said, stronger than I felt.
I was hoping you could help me with something. Your Highness.
Cassian raised an eyebrow, his focus still locked on me.
I need a witness,
I continued, lifting my chin and straightening my shoulders.
For a formal rejection.
The word struck Aiden like a physical blow.
Lyria? No?
Yes,
I said firmly, finally finding my voice, my strength, my resolve.
Lyria Arden of the Lycan Royal House, Aiden Crestfall, as my mate.
I won't accept it.
Aiden gasped, his voice strained. Blood trickled from the corner of his mouth as he fought against Cassian's crushing dominance.
She's my mate. She belongs to me.
What's the point of this, Aiden?
I asked calm.
What do you hope to gain? I will never accept you. I will never forgive you.
Lyria,
His voice broke.
I love you. I've always loved you. What happened with Sabrina? It was a mistake. A moment of weakness. You have to believe me.
Love.
I laughed coldly.
You don't poison someone you love. Aiden, you don't betray them on the night. They were meant to become yours forever.
He flinched as if struck.
I was scared.
He whispered.
Scared of how powerful you are. Scared of losing myself in you. But I see now. I lost you anyway.
Once, those words might have meant something. But the naive girl who believed in fairy tales was gone. Buried under his betrayal.
Accept it. Alpha Aiden.
Cassian's cold voice cut in.
You already lost her.
The words hit like a blow. Aiden doubled over, clutching his chest. As the weakened mate bond finally snapped. The sound he made was barely human.
I accept your rejection.
He whispered. The moment he said it, I felt it, a rush of freedom so sharp. It almost made me stumble. The invisible chains binding me to him dissolved. Aiden forced himself upright and looked at me one last time. Grief heavy in his eyes.
I hope you find happiness, Lyria. Even if it's not with me.
Just as he was about to leave, Cassian called out.
Wait.
His tone was serious.
As for your request to become Alpha King, I'm afraid I can't grant it.
Aiden's face immediately drained of color.
Because of Lyria.
Cassian took my hand, pulling me closer.
No, you once had a chance at being Alpha King because of Lyria. But now, you've simply fallen back to your rightful place, stripped of her protection.
Regret was etched across Cassian's face, but there was no room left for him to argue.
I understand,
he said. Then he left, leaving Cassian and me alone in the room. When I finally looked at Cassian, his storm gray eyes were fixed on me.
I've loved you since we were children,
he said simply. My heart skipped.
Cassian, I know what you were going to say.
He stepped closer. I caught his scent, pine, mint, and something wild that stirred my wolf.
We're not mates. The bond didn't choose us.
Then why?
Because I don't care about fate, bonds, or the moon goddess.
His hand cupped my face, thumb brushing my cheekbone.
I choose you, Lyria. I always have.
Heat rushed to my cheeks. The way he looked at me now wasn't friendly anymore. It was focused, predatory. His other hand rested lightly against my throat, where Aiden should have marked me. Where no one ever had.
Do you know how long I've stared at this throat? He murmured. How many nights I've dreamed of leaving my mark here.
My pulse hammered against his palm.
Cassian,
Well, I hope I'm not interrupting.
Cedric's amused voice sliced through the moment. I jumped back, face burning, but my brother's knowing smirk only made it worse.
Your timing is impeccable, as always, Cedric,
I said dryly.
I do try.
He grinned.
Just letting you know the cars are ready for tomorrow.
He raised his hands and backed away with a laugh, leaving me flushed in front of Cassian. Still, I was grateful he didn't push me for an answer. The next morning dawned crisp and clear, perfect weather for leaving forever. I stood in the courtyard as servants loaded my belongings into Cassian's sleek black vehicles. The Lycan Prince's convoy was impressive, making Aiden's pack look small in comparison. As if summoned by the thought, Aiden appeared. He looked exhausted and desperate. Dark circles shadowed his eyes, and his usually perfect appearance was disheveled. Before he could reach me, Jared stepped forward. The beta looked older somehow, worn down but steadier.
Sir?
He said to Cedric with a respectful bow.
Thank you for opening my eyes. I know now why you punished Sabrina. I should have seen the truth sooner.
Cedric nodded.
A good man shouldn't have to question his mate's loyalty. I'm sorry you had to learn it this way.
I've banished her.
Jared said steadily.
She's no longer welcome in this pack.
As if summoned, shouting erupted near the gates. I turned to see Sabrina being dragged out of the territory. She looked nothing like the elegant seductress who stole my mate. Her red hair was tangled, clothes torn and dirty. She screamed wildly.
This is all her fault.
She shrieked, pointing at me.
That bitch ruined everything. I should have been Luna. I should have.
The guard shoved her past the territory line. She fell into the dirt but kept screaming like a beggar. I felt nothing watching her fall. No satisfaction, no pity, just emptiness where anger used to be. They had made their choices. Now they would live with them.
Come,
Cassian said softly, taking my hand.
it's time to go.
I nodded and followed him to the car. I didn't look back at Aiden. That chapter was over. Cassian's car was far more luxurious than anything I'd known. Soft leather, tinted windows and space to stretch out. I sat across from him trying to stay composed. That lasted 5 minutes. As the car took a sharp curve, I slid across the smooth seat and landed straight in Cassian's lap.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I tried to move, but his arms wrapped around me.
Careful.
He murmured near my ear.
Wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Something in his tone made me suspect the curve hadn't been an accident. When I looked up, his innocent expression was almost convincing. Almost.
Cassian,
I warned weakly. Being this close, breathing his scent, feeling his warmth was dangerous for my resolve.
You know,
He said casually.
there's something I've wanted to do for a long time.
what?
Instead of answering, he cupped my face and kissed me. It wasn't gentle like my kisses with Aiden. This was heat, demand, hunger barely restrained. Cassian kissed me like he was claiming me. And goddess help me, I kissed him back. When we finally pulled apart, both breathing hard, he rested his forehead against mine.
You kissed me.
He said softly, almost amazed.
You kissed me first.
I replied, cheeks burning.
True.
His smile turned mischievous.
But you kissed me back. That means responsibility.
For what?
For stealing my heart.
He said solemnly.
For ruining me for every other woman. For making me fall so deeply in love with you that I can't imagine life without you.
Despite everything, I laughed.
You Ray ridiculous.
Ridiculously in love with you.
He agreed, kissing my temple.
And now that you've kissed me, you Ray stuck with me. Whose rules?
Mine.
He smiled.
I'm a prince. I make the rules.